Hello, everybody, and welcome to the SADL Season II coach announcements and draft order reveal. I know it's been a while since we've had a video. Did the coach the season announcement, basically announcing the start of the season. Had some other things I kind of wanted to plan to do. Those got pushed back. Been very busy in my personal life, but here we are. Signups have ended. We have all of the coaches that we know are going to be participating this season. We've got the draft order figured out. We're ready to announce that. Get drafting and get the season on the way here in the next couple of weeks. I'm excited. I hope everybody else is excited. So we're just gonna get straight into that. We're just gonna go over basically what each division is going to look like and the drafting order, and then real quickly kind of go over um, some of the drafting rules and break that down just so there's no confusion. So when we start drafting, it'll be kind of clear. Obviously, if you still have any questions, you can ask me always, obviously, in the server. If you're a coach that's participating and you have any questions, like I said. So with that being said, we're going to look at the legacy draft real quick. Obviously, for the most part, we have 10 returning coaches, um, myself included. I'm just going to go real quick right over here, flip over to the draft order, zoom out so everybody can see it very easily. So this is the draft order. As you can see, we have Wumples of the Anchorage Bearticks will have the first overall pick this season. Yeehaw Yee of the House of Mouse will have the second overall pick. Kesta, one of our new coaches playing in the Legacy Division, will have the third overall pick. Tanner of the Chicago Toros will have the fourth overall pick. Scorpithan, another new member for the Legacy Division, will have the fifth overall pick. Manny will have the sixth pick. Yours truly will have the seventh pick. I kind of got stuck with the in the middle of the pack, unfortunately. Um, Phil or Notorious Pip of the Wiltshire War Turtles will have the eighth overall pick. Fiery Vortex will have the ninth pick. Jake will have the 10th pick. Bordak will have the 11th pick. Your reigning season one champion of the coach of the Minnesota Glow Kings will have the 11th overall pick. And then last but certainly not least, Brady will have the 12th overall pick. So this is how the draft order for the Legacy Division will be going. Obviously, it is a snake draft, meaning that, of course, once we go 1 through 12, it goes 12 through 1, and vice versa. So Wumples and Brady on the wheels for the snake draft. So yeah, that's kind of what that's looking like. You know, I think most people knew that they were already going to be because obviously this is the legacy draft. This is our returning season one coaches. So both these people already knew that they were going to be in the draft. We just added two new members, Kesta and Scorpithan, who obviously I'm grateful for y'all joining us this season. They'll be included in this draft as well. This will be your legacy division for SADL Season 2. Um, I know there were some jokes or questions about the legitimacy of me randomizing the draft order. I just want to show you guys though real quick. This was the first draft order I randomized um, for the legacy division. Baltimore Bullet Punches, you can see number one. That's my team. I don't know what it is about randomizing draft. It always gives me good picks. I got the second pick in the season one, and I had the first overall pick in the speed draft, and I got the first overall pick in the initial one. However, though, me and Jake decided that it was best to re-roll the draft picks because it seemed too beneficial for too many people. He had the second pick, and then our president, Fiery Vortex, had the 12th pick. So even though it was the last pick, it is a wheel pick, which is still extremely beneficial. Um, in that situation, that was not what I was trying to click onto. So that is going to be the draft breakdown for the Legacy division. I'm going to move on now to our newcomer division, which of course contains all brand new members to the SADL. A lot of these people I know have had very little, if any, draft experience. So I'm really excited to see how this season turns out. I'm going to just really quick go over the. So I did with the last one. Just go over the draft order. Most every coach who put in an application got in. So there's no like, oh, did I make the cut or not? Everybody's in. We reached the minimum for both of them and didn't, have too many entries or submissions to get in. So everybody was able I think most people got into the division that they wanted to, and there was no issues or didn't have to make any cuts basically. So we're going to look at our new coaches, uh, brand new coaches that have joined, and we're going to go over the draft order real quick. So this is all 14 coaches that will be participating in the newcomer division. Doing fine. Coach of the Apple Mac Knackle Stacks will have our first overall pick for the newcomer division. Nixie, coach of the Esper Wings, will have our second overall pick. Brorb, coach of the Detroit Rev Rooms, will have the third overall pick. X Batulser, I think that's how you pronounce that. Sorry if I mispronounce your names or your Discord names. Coach of the Barcelona Volcaronas, that's a very fire name. We'll have the fourth overall pick. Cobalt, coach of the Bronx Bear Takes, will have the fifth overall pick. Ali Pomp, coach of the Rilla Boom Booms, will have the sixth overall pick. Five NDR, coach of the Giratina Victory, will have the seventh overall pick. Macaroni and Cheese, I guess there's a character limit. Didn't show up there. Coach of the Opposite Gooners will have the eighth overall pick. Waffle Kings, coach of Zezorarg's Destroyers. That's a mouthful, tongue twister to say. Will have the ninth overall pick. The Ones and Zeros, coach of the Soaring Stingers, will have the 10th overall pick. Classy Burb, coach of the Texas Clawitzers, will have the 11th overall pick. The 13th Guy, coach of the Flopping Feebass, will have the 12th overall pick. Tobix will have the coach of the Sacramento Blings will have the 13th overall pick, and our 14th and final pick will be CC, coach of the Juggernaut Jirachis. So this is obviously the same size as our season one league was, 14. The Legacy division is a little smaller, but all real rules for now are staying the same. We're still going to have an 8 seed playoff for both divisions, just so that way we can have a lot more competitiveness towards the end of the season. We did 6 last season. We're bumping it up to 8. And as of right now, we're going to stay with 10 weeks. There may be a possibility it gets shortened, but we will make that decision, and it'll be finalized before the end of the draft. So it won't be like a decision we'll make in the end of the season or in the middle of the season. It'll be made before the season actually officially starts. So either during or like at the end of the draft, we'll make that decision. But for right now, we're going to stick to 10 weeks. If maybe if you're watching this video and you just haven't, hey, I think 8 is better, let us know. Tell me, say it in the Discord or let me know personally or somebody in the council, and we'll talk about it. We'll try to discuss it. But obviously, like I said, you will know before the end of the draft. So that being said, real quick, I'm going to go over the draft rules. We're going to go into the server real quick. So if you are in a draft pick, so this is the legacy draft pick room. This was the site of our first ever draft. So as you can kind of see what we did here, a person would draft, and then they would at the next person, and then that person would draft. So 8 hours between draft picks. So it's not going to start until that person gets added. So say somebody just put their draft pick in and they failed it at the next person, and then like 30 minutes later, either me or somebody else or that person just decides to add them. They'll get those the 30 minutes won't count towards them because they didn't know that their pick was up. So 8 hours between draft picks. You have 8 hours to draft. We've talked about this in the server. There is going to be some leniency with that, just because the difference in time zones and stuff make it very weird. It can cause any number of issues. People just might not be awake or you know occupied or stuff like that. It can happen. Not as soon as you wake up are you going to like open your phone or get on your computer to go to Discord and draft. Like a good example I can use just personally for me would be like 10 o'clock is like really early for me. I'm never in bed before 10. But let's just say I have a really early night and I go to bed at 10, and somebody drafts at 10 o'clock or like right before 10 or like right after 10. So I would need to wake up at 6 a.m. to hit that 8 hour mark to draft. I don't get up. I'm definitely not getting up 6 a.m. on a weekend. I don't get up till 6:30 at the earliest to go to work. So I would 100% miss my opportunity to draft. So with that being said, I'm willing to offer extensions, give somebody just, a few hours in the mornings or, a few, around nighttime, just to kind of give them that flexibility. I would say no more than 12 hours. I would not allow more than 12 hours to give somebody a chance to draft. Um, I was pretty lenient with it last year. I think we only skipped one draft pick, and that was kind of the situation where I just described. That person went to bed super early, and then they didn't like report anything until like 9 or 10 the next morning. So it had been like well over 12 hours they had to pick, and they didn't pick. So we skipped that pick. That was the only time that happened though. So we're pretty lenient with it. Like I said, probably no more than 12 hours would be the maximum extension time somebody would have to um, would be allowed to draft, should I say. So, yeah, that being said, that's the draft order. Um, this is all set up on the docs. So I will post both doc links in the document room on on the server. So they'll be there. You can see the draft order, know who's above you, know who's below you, so that way you know who to at during the draft. And so yeah, that being said, that wraps up just about everything. I'm ready to start the draft. Um, the time to start the draft, we will start at noon tomorrow, Sunday, noon Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, the 11th of August. So that is when the draft will officially commence. I'll probably be in a room, um, like a voice channel or something to start it off, and we'll just maybe do like a little bit of live draft coverage for a little bit just to get the ball rolling. But yeah, that'll be how things will work. Um, Remember also, if you don't know if you can make a pick, like you're going to be away and you're like, well, I know what I want, but I don't want to like hold up the draft. Just leave your pick with preferably a council member, me or a council member, somebody who has some sort of authority, I guess you could say. um and we will draft in your stead. Try to leave multiple picks too, because there's a possibility your pick will get sniped. um Multiple picks just in case. And yeah, or with somebody, if somebody you trust, if you have friends in the server. I know some people are, join the league with their friends, so let them know as well. And then we'll figure that out. We'll make sure that gets strapped and you get taken care of, just in case you want to do that as well. That's also a great way to avoid potentially running out of time. Say you're about to go to sleep, and you can just say, "Hey, I'm going to sleep. Don't know if I'll wake up in time for my pick. This is what I want." It's cool. Like I said, we'll be flexible around it. We'll take care of things and try to make sure that nobody gets skipped as little skipping as possible, should I say. So, that being said, I'm just going to wrap it up here. Just a quick, brief video announcing all the coaches and the draft order. Thank you, everybody, for joining the league. Officially welcome to the league. Most of you were, like I said, all of you, everybody who showed interest got in. So, welcome. I look forward to having a great season with you guys. And yeah, let's get this ball in the rolling. See you guys. Remember, noon Eastern Standard Time, Sunday, August 11th. That's when the draft will start. So be there, be square. See y'all then.